A few years ago, I found this gem called Othercide. I had an amazing time with it on stream, so much so that I played it off camera, finished all the achievements, and did pretty much everything I could in the game, only to find myself wanting more. Well, I'm happy to say more has arrived. Exanguist is from the exact same studio and seems to be in many ways a spiritual successor to Othercide, basically Othercide 2, for those who've been waiting for it like myself. It is a playtest version that you can opt into over on Steam. Big thank you to the dev team for saying yes to my application and letting me get into this playtest, so I can show it to you guys. Now, Othercide is a turn-based campaign-style game where you make characters, go into mission areas, and try and kill enemies, achieve little criteria, and not die, because the game featured permadeath. When your characters die, they stay dead, but you could always carry their memory on into another character. It was a very punishing but rewarding game to get good at and understand, very similar to something like Darkest Dungeon. Exanguis feels a bit like an evolution on that, because it feels, funny enough, a bit more roguey in nature, and I'm curious to see how it plays out when we get to see more of the game, because as it stands, the playtest version has basically a taste for us before we inevitably get the full thing. I had an initial attempt at recording this. I was very confused because while there are familiar aspects to Othercide, there are plenty of new things as well that I was not handling very well on the initial, and it went very poorly, so I decided to do a run through on the game to get an idea of it before coming back in to show you what the game is with a bit more experience, because this screen can be a little overwhelming the first time you take a look at it. So we'll go over everything piece by piece. So the red ring in the middle is your area of where you can go to. As you move around, the ring seems to follow you, centering around your location. So each of these little circles are locations you can go to that all have, you know, varying rewards and different enemy types inside. You can kind of see where you're going before you go there. Bosses are these little teardrop things up in the corner, but you need 400 corrupted blood in order to go there. You start with 0, and every time you go to an area and complete it, you might get, you know, 150, 200 blood, that kind of thing. You need to get enough blood to go and challenge a boss fight to get, you know, the most rewards. But you have a limited amount of moves that you can make. You have 600 of your cycle left, this little cycle blood energy down here. It goes in waves of 50 every time you move, so basically you can move 12 times. If you try and go somewhere and you lose, I don't believe your characters die, but you do lose the cycle. So you basically have a limited amount of moves you can do to maximize your resources, fight a boss, and then be done with your cycle. There is a difficulty selection over on the right side. I'm going to get off the screen so I can show you more clearly. Here we have all of our locations. If we scroll out a little bit, you can see there are actually more boss fights. And there's a very, like, it's a large map, and I'm imagining that once the full game is out, maybe most of this opens up. But at the meantime, we have our little center dot, and if I were to click on a location over here, we have the criteria, which is Destroy the Menace. There is a single high health, like a little home base structure that we have to destroy, and that completes the mission for us. You can wipe out all the enemies, or you can bum rush it, however you want to do it, but that's the criteria. There is a difficulty selector over here. It gives you increasing rewards depending on what you want to do. Scout is just the default, and you have rewards down here. That's how much corrupted blood you get. And then you have things like all these little icons down here, which will come into the play after the run, because these are your permanent progression items, because there is a progression tree, which I did not expect in Othercide. If I increase the difficulty to Challenger, you can see that not only do all of the enemy's stats get a little bit more scary, but the rewards go up quite significantly from, you know, 9 to 23 in this one. Some rewards won't get that much bigger because it comes down to which room you select. Some rooms have more of one thing than another. You're basically picking based on which of these down here you want, but you won't know that when you first get in. So what we're going to do is just pick rooms based on just how we feel at the moment. And what I want to do is move towards a boss fight, because I had to learn the hard way that it might be a good idea to move the ring in the direction of a boss. But before we pick this one, I'm going to go down here into Manage and show you, because sure enough, we have to take a look at our characters. So we start with Kale, Syra, and Leora, and you can change these names after you've completed a run and kind of customize your team loadout, but for the very first run, they give you these three and they want you to get used to the characters. These are the three classes that are available right now. Kale is a Sanguis, which is basically big melee damage. She attacks and bleeds enemies whenever she hits them. She also has a smack that causes enemies to knock back, and they'll hit other enemies or run into walls and take more damage from impact, but she can basically make enemies go away. We have Syra, who is kind of the bread and butter of the team in many cases. She is your dominant range damage, but she has a marking feature. She can hit a dude in melee, it'll move her back 2 tiles and mark the enemy for extra damage, which her lightning strike will do. The lightning strike is a very big AoE that hits multiple enemies and does big damage. She does a lot for us. And then last but not least is Leora. She's kind of our support character. She's able to damage enemies and make their turns take longer. She also heals allies and makes their turns come faster. She also has this one right here, Borrowed Time, which is a very wide range interrupt. If an enemy is about to start their turn, she stops them from having their turn and delays them. It delays our turn by 40 and applies Chaotic Flux to myself. Chaotic Flux will randomly advance or delay the turn every 80 time units, so she might get, you know, faster or slower. She's like the time manipulator, but stopping an enemy from getting a turn is pretty nice. But it is a bit of a give and take because it will delay you by a bit longer. These are the 3 dominant classes. We'll get to see more in the future, but for now, they do exactly what we want them to, and that is kill enemies dead good. Let's get into a actual combat scenario. Now, they're going to do all of this right here. Don't worry, we're going to go over it as we go through instead of, you know, confusing the hell out of you with too much info all at once. If you're familiar with Othercide, you probably already know exactly what you're looking at, because sure enough, it plays very similar to Othercide. Here's our grid, our map, all of our enemies. If you hover over an enemy, you can see where they move and where their attack ranges are. If I hover over this little guy down here, we can see that it's a cocoon, and that it will hatch and spawn a potentate, which is one of these guys. We don't want more of these guys to spawn. We've got little enemies, and if you need to, you can click on them and you can see what their abilities are, what they do, and what their effective range is. There's all this information at our fingertips. At the top is the timeline. Who goes when, who does what. So right now, Syra is going first. She's very fast and typically is the one who goes first on the team, and then followed by our other 2 characters. They'll go before the enemies. You can see the timers up there, so 45, 10, and 5. That's because some attacks, if I hover over Lightning Strike, it says delayed detached. So the delayed part of it tells me in brackets 20 turn units, 20 TUs. And if you look in the timeline at the top, up around here, it'll even put a little marker there that shows when this attack will go off, because not all attacks will go off instantly. A lot of them do, but some of the more powerful ones are ones that you have to set up and have fire off later, which runs the risk that enemies could interrupt you or move out of the way of it, stuff like that. All the abilities are down here, movement, etc. Your AP meter determines things like how far you can move and what you can do. I'm going to fire off an AoE and nuke these guys. If I click on my AoE, I can see my effective range. I can't reach them. I need to move a little bit closer. So I'm going to spend 9 AP and move there. So our AP has gone down a bit. This does refill at the end of every turn when you get your turn back. Depending on how much AP you use determines how far into the cycle that you're going, because this little bracket right here, if you go below that, below 40 AP, you are in burst, you're in overdrive, you're using too much AP, and instead of your next turn coming 50 turn units away, it'll be 100 away. So the easy way to think of it is all of your initial AP up to this point is a normal turn, and then if you spend into this bottom bar here, you're taking 2 turns at once, because it's going to take that long to get another turn back. Let's fire the big lightning AoE over there. We can see all the little indicators on the ground, and then once 20 turn units are over, kaboom. And not only that, it's a big kaboom because these little incenses? Is it an incense? Incensus. That's a weird, yeah, it's different. They will explode after taking damage and do AoE damage. So they're little mines that we're going to pop, and we're hopefully going to get rid of the cocoon. We're going to get rid of this pustula, and we're going to probably kill this little seraphim over here at the same time. We can end our turn. We move on to Kael. Kael is our melee-focused character. I don't need to do much with her right now. I just need to move her over and put her in a position where she can help when need be. Leora's turn. Move her over here. What we're going to do is, there's no reason not to. What we're going to do is fire off the Temporal Arc, which is a delayed attack. It's got 30 units, so you can see up here It's going to fire off there, and it's going to, when used on an enemy, it does damage and delays their turn by 25 time units. So if we were to fire it at this guy, he's going to get bumped back until he's at 60. He's going to go all the way back here somewhere. But if I fire it at an ally, it heals them and brings them forward 25 units. So these two will get to act faster. So we're going to do that now. It fires off in a cone. So 1 space, 3 space, and then 4 space, 5 space, actually, 1, 3, 5. We're going to fire it at our allies. It's going to fire off soon. End turn. Lightning strike triggers. Hits all the enemies. Big explosion. Killed everything like we wanted. Fire that off, and we get another turn. Thanks to that effect. Who's this going next? You, little guy down here. Now, you can see the criteria for this map is kill target NPCs, 1 out of 4. So we need to kill you, we need to kill you, and we need to kill you. But any of these extra enemies that might spawn out of the eggs, they don't count. We don't need to worry about them. But they will come after us either way. Like, they're not exactly going to give us a free ride. So we need to make sure that we kill the 3 that we're targeting as quickly as we can. I'm just going to move these along. One of the best things that we can do is bait enemies to come to us. It's something that you'll learn playing Othercide for a while, is that if you stay just outside of an enemy's effective range, they'll come to you as opposed to you going to them. You'll spend all of your AP running across the map to get to them, only to have limited AP left to do an attack or to do anything, and then you'll end your turn and you're right in front of the enemy. They're going to hit you. Whereas if I wait, I can preserve my AP, they come to me, and then we can do whatever we want after that. So what we're gonna do here... 1, 2, 3. I can hit all 3 of them. If I come over here, we can see the enemy's attacks. So he's currently doing an annihilation attack, which is delayed by 80 turn units. He's waiting a long time, but you can see he's hitting a lot of spaces, and as long as Kale isn't standing there, once that goes off, we're okay. But hopefully we can even kill him before then. We're gonna bring Leora down here. We're gonna fire off this little temporal arc again. It's gonna hit Syra, and it's gonna hit these 2 dudes and delay their turns by a little bit. If I wanted, I could do some borrowed time, but that's gonna put me into my burst, and it's gonna make me see, you can see on the bar there, my 50 is getting bumped all the way to the end of the timeline with a big burst over the top. I don't want to do that. You can do that when you're looking to go for a kill, when you're like all or nothing. It is a very all or nothing kind of playstyle, but we don't need to do that. Instead, I'm going to do something very cheeky here. You see, our little Seraphim dude here is in a precarious position where I can use my hemorrhage and push him into the guy behind him, which he takes 10 collateral damage. Little dude dies. Yippee for us. When does Syra get to go? She's over here. I do want to kill him before he gets to do anything. So we can move to here. And I have just enough left to do Cutting Edge, which is going to damage him, and bleed him. So now when he takes a turn, he's going to bleed for some extra damage. But hopefully he won't get to have a turn, because we're going to fire off our temporal attack. And then Syra gets to go, and if I want to... What is that, 5 AP? What's that, 14, 22, that's 30, 36... It might be expensive to do, but we could do it. Let's get you over here. And then we'll do our Volt Step. Smack. That hits him, marks him, and moves her back 2 spaces. And then... I could wait and see if the bleed kills him, or I can move back in. But I probably want to move... Oh, I'm going to go burst if I do that. It's 8 to get back in, and I'm going to be left with 47 if I do another one. I may have to believe in the heart of the cards. Although, Leora gets a turn, but she can't stop him from doing what he's doing, I don't think. What I can do... I'll be bursting by 1, but that's okay. We'll fire this off. No. Kale doesn't get to go in time. I'd be hitting Kale. I can't do that. Tell you what, let's move in. We're just going to burst. Smack. He dies. Now, even though she's bursted, I've still got a little AP left to blow, so we may as well see... Nah, we won't worry about it. I was going to say, I may as well see if I can fire something else somewhere, but there's no point. That little guy just hatched. Congratulations, it's a boy. These two are going at 45 away. We just need to kill this one, so let's move over. It's going to cost a lot of AP, though. Go there, 23 versus 25. This is cheaper. Who is doing that? What is that attack? Yeah, I was going to say, no one should be attacking right now. Come over here. We'll end up bursting doing this, but hopefully worth. Because we're going to delay their turns by another 25. But we are bursting, and I'm even going to take borrowed time, which will further stop them. Once one of them gets a turn, it will skip their turn, and she'll steal it, basically. But it will bump her even further back, so she's going to be taking a minute on this. If anything, what we can do is try and detonate these explosives if Syra gets a turn, but she probably doesn't need to worry about it, because if we're lucky, I'm going to run up here, and we're going to blow this guy up. Hopefully. If I mess this up, we're in trouble. So we can bleed you. Big bleed damage. What leaves that with 29 and then 18. Yeah, we can do that. Bleed him again. And now we can either do one more bleed or we can shove him. Shoving him will do more damage, knock him back, and push him into this little guy back here. Do that. Big crit. Delightful. And then hopefully once her attack triggers, he dies. They're hatching. All the problems are coming out. He bleeds. His turn got stolen. He's activating Cataclysm. Sickening Scratch. Ow, don't do that. Now, unfortunately, by the looks of it, what's happened is kind of sad. He died. He died to bleed. It's okay. We win. Because she stole a turn, it bumped her further back, and it stopped her from firing off her attack. You got to be careful doing that. It was a calculated risk. It worked out, but it can be dangerous. With it done, every time you finish an area, you get to do a little pick 3 right here. You've got different rarities of upgrades. Some of these are abilities. Some of them are just like stats. Some of them are just, you know, reducing the cost of movement, increasing your health, your crit, damage, stuff like that, or full-on abilities. Before an enemy uses a skill at melee range, Interrupts then deals 24 damage to the enemy and applies bleed to enemy and yourself. Interesting. We have Crystallize, apply Fortify to yourself, which grants a flat damage reduction. I might take that one, to be honest. If anything, it's just a flat 5 damage, so anything that does 5 damage or less won't hurt me. They'll have to do 6 or more, and even then, it's tickling me. Gravity Vortex pulls enemies in. I'll take the Crystallize, please. Syra gets an ability parry before an enemy uses a skill at melee range, interrupt, and then advance your turn by 25 units. So not only do we stop them, but we go faster. Twin Fang kick, deal damage twice to target, push them back a tile, move yourself forward a tile, Thunderclap, deal 20 damage at ranged, instantly, by the way. Instant is good. Deal 20 damage. If it's a crit, deal 10 more damage to the target and adjacent enemies. It's not bad. I might take the parry, though, because interruption abilities are very, very nice to have. She also has parry available. The gravity that pulls enemies in. Instant 30 damage, 30 AP ranged AoE. Deal damage to the target and delay their turn by 30. I'm going to re-roll and try and find something a little bit bigger. Oh. Well, there we go. We got 2 legendaries. So Continuum is a reaction ability. After another ally casts a skill, restore 10 AP to the ally. If you have Chaotic Flux, prepares Continuum trigger again. Really? So if I do the turn steal thing, which does give me Chaotic Flux, and then the next turn I do this, I can just start like rapidly feeding AP into my allies and keep the effect looping if I have Chaotic Flux on. It's not bad. Chrono Break. It applies unprepared to all characters, which, as far as I'm aware, it's just devastating. It increases the end of turn offset by 50%. It just means that you get a lot of extra waiting until you get to do a turn. To all characters, delay their turn by 20 time units. It's powerful, but it affects everyone, so it would also affect my characters. This is like an all or nothing. There's a lot of enemies doing stuff, and I need to stop them all, even at the cost of my own characters. And then the Mater's Blessing, the Mother's Blessing. So after 30 turn units, 30 AP, self AoE applies Fortify, Strengthen, and Haste to all allies within range. Massive. Give me that. I want that. We want that bad. So where are we on our way down to? Down to here. So we need to keep moving, and unfortunately there are only medium places. There's one little small one over here, but a lot of these places down here are big ones. Like, that's a really big one. That's a really big fella. I might hit this other small one real quick. I'm only doing them on Scout difficulty because, as you'll understand, I want to show why picking higher difficulties are more worth your while, but at the end, instead of picking them now, we'll do it at the end afterwards. There's a potentate there. All this can be blown up. There's another potentate right there. More cocoons, more stuff. There's stuff everywhere, dude. We have to destroy the menace. So the menace is this thing right here. Voice of Regrets. It has 375 health, so typically you're probably just gonna end up killing everything and then killing that last. But if you want to bum rush it, you probably could. If you had enough damage, you could just rush it and kill it. I don't have the ability to rush it and kill it right now. I have to worry about whether or not I'm going to live. No, we're just gonna move down a little bit. I can't fire that off if I want to, so we're just gonna stay there. Kale, move up. What have you got? Applies Fortify to self? I could do that, just for now. There's no reason not to. A stack of Fortify? Not bad. Damage reduction, 5% damage reduction. Cool. End turn there. And now you, Leora, you're the one who's going to do the big important thing. I just screwed myself. I didn't realize how much AP I was using. God damn it, man. Doesn't matter. Do it anyway. It's worth it. We just burst her, though, which sucks. I should have moved her to behind Kale. Big buffs. Right, now everyone's got Fortify, Strengthen, and Hasten. So damage up 50%, damage reduction. We've got 5, you know, it's a 5 stack of it, so we can't be hurt with 5 damage or less. It's pretty damn good. I want to blow this stuff up down here, so I'm going to make my way across town a little bit. Hope you don't mind. And I'm going to drop this. Do you blow up automatically? No, you spawn a potentate though, so I might have to do this. And burst right here. End turn. This guy's gonna walk up. He's gonna hit me with a 19 damage harvest because you're rude. Now they're all aware that I'm here. Retribution? Yeah, whatever, dude. Whatever you say. Now, her attack, this is really good for us because Syra's attack is gonna go off in 15. So what we can do is we can move Kale over here. And I can do the pushback. Damn! Never mind. Killed him outright. I was gonna say push him back into it and he'll get hit by the AoE, but it's not even a concern. The Strengthen gave us such a big damage boost that they just died. You don't want to be there. That hit Syra too. That explosion is huge. They're hatching. Harvest? How dare you. I need Leona to get her turn already. She should have gone by now. She could be healing and buffing us. But it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. You move at 50, you move at 39, you move at 25. That means I can drop this here and I can still hit 2 of these dudes without having to worry about anything else. End turn. Kale. If I could get Kale here to push this dude up into that, it would be great, but that's way too much AP to be... Well, actually... Hang on. 26? That is a lot. Considering I need 18 on top of that? Nah. Well, nah. I wanted to stay close so that we can get extra healing back. Bleed him. 42 crit? Sucks to be you, bro. End turn. Leona. My boo. I need you to heal. And speed me up. But mostly I need you to heal. If I was better at what I'm doing, I would have rushed over and stopped these from hatching, but, you know, it's fine. We can live with it for now. That guy didn't die, but that's okay. He's stupid. He didn't decide to come and kill me. Which means they're all going to get hit by this stuff. This guy's dead. This guy gets uber delayed. You can see the little delay icon. He got fucked up. And now... Bay Syra's going to come over here, and it's going to smack him one. 16 damage, not quite dead. If I go 6 up here, how much do I have left? 56? What does that cost? 14? That's just enough. She's not designed for melee damage, she's designed for that lightning strike, but you know what? It's working out. We're going to end up clearing all these enemies at this rate. Who else is hatching? Is anyone else hatching? You. There's 3 more up here to worry about. We could start moving our way in a little, but I'm not going to do that just yet. I'm just going to move to about here instead. We're going to bait them in. I need them to come to me and make mistakes. Doom dive. He's going to blow up. He's going to sacrifice himself and do big damage to everyone in range. We don't want that. So I'm going to come over here. And I'm going to fire this in this direction. It's going to speed up her, it's going to heal her, and it's going to do big, stupid damage. Well, it's going to damage and delay that little guy trying to blow up. Annihilation. You're firing that very far away, dude. Is anyone in range of... You wouldn't do that if no one's in range, right? No, sure enough, I don't think anyone's in range for that. What about yours? No? I think we're okay. I don't think that hits me. Maybe you're silly. Maybe you're stupid. Either way, we can bring Kale up here, and I can bleed. And he should die once this fires. So I don't need to worry about spending any more AP. I can wait. Although, I may as well kill him. There's no reason not to. She'll still fire this and heal everyone. Everyone in range at least. What are you at, 95 health? Let's move you up a little bit. Come over here. You can still fire your big AoE. It's going to hit the little cocoon thing nearby. It's going to hit that dude over there. It's going to mess everyone up. It's great. End turn. There's the arc. Heals my characters, speeds them up. Boom! Big AoE, big explosions, big damage. Everyone hates it. I'm gonna rebuff. I'm gonna reapply the buffs. Screw you, dude. Do I need to move and go and get anyone? I'm just gonna stand here. If I'm being completely honest, I'm just gonna wait. I'm gonna wait for the buffs to kick off, and I'm gonna wait for the enemies to, I don't know, not hit me. Nice one. You're so good at what you do. I don't know why he did that. Everyone's going to get to go before this guy's attack fires. I can probably just go and kill him, to be honest. 2, 3... Is that good enough to reach? No, that's that row there. You're in the 4th row. That sucks, but whatever. We'll still fire it off this way. I should have gone one step further. He'll be dead before he needs to worry about that. I'm not going to worry about borrowed time. KO. I need you to do the funny. I need you to shove this guy into the locker. He hit the wall behind him. Ouch, it hurts. I could burst, but we don't need to do that because Syra's about to get a turn and she can kill him for us. Albeit very expensively, because I have to come up here and do this. Smack. It does position her back here a bit more though, so I can come up and hit this thing with an attack next. Now Dumbass moves in. He's going to activate Cataclysm, his AoE. They love doing delay-based attacks. I got nothing with that. Honestly, dude, I might just ignore you and just go straight for this thing up here. Like, do I need to care about you? That's a big move, though. Just to go all the way around. Just end turn over there. As long as we're not standing in his AoE, does it matter? Not really. Come up here. We want to mark it so it takes more damage. We're still not in range of its BS, but I have to wait. Because I can't without bursting. I don't want to burst just yet. If you burst, because these guys' delayed attacks often come in after like 70, 80 turn units, this is a punish for bursting. It was exactly the same in Othercide. If you burst and these guys set something up, they're gonna hit you and you just can't move out the way. So only burst when you're really, really, really comfy with it. If you're not comfy with it, uh-oh. Big damage. End turn. Dumbass does his attack. Oh, wait, collateral damage? He hit the thing down the bottom that exploded? Oh, well, good for you, sir. 1, 2, 3. You're in the way. Doesn't matter. Move up. Fire it. End turn. Kale. Glorious Kale. Do big damage. 28 crit. Feels good. And then I could do a push. Is push going to do a lot of damage for you? Yeah, it'll do a bit of damage. Push him. 38 damage there. How much health has he got left? 179? I can't kill him with this, I don't think. But I could burst. I could do 3 bleed swings. We'll do a lot of damage. Ah, we would do a lot of damage, but we've run out of buff. 28. 28. Big damage. 100 health left. And now, because you're marked... Oh, but this is risky. I don't want to pop those, so I want to drop this, if I can, in a way that hits it, but not my other teammate. So here? It looks like it's hitting there. I think it is. You're being hit by that, right? It should be. It looks like you are. End turn. Stop it. We don't care about you anymore. There we go, it did hit. Big damage. Then she fires an attack, more big damage, the explosion goes off, everyone gets hurt, but doesn't matter. Because it's dead. Done. Give me my blood. Parry, health boost, gravity vortex. For Kale, I'm gonna reroll. Shove, damage reduction, or exsanguinate. Deal damage to target. If the target has bleed, remove it and restore health. That's pretty good, actually. But... a flat damage reduction of 6 is huge. Very, very good. Stats like that are really nice. What's Syra looking at? Shove, damage. Increased damage multiplier by 10. It's not bad. Storm form. After an enemy enters an adjacent tile, deal damage, apply mark, and push the enemy back. That's a pretty good reaction, to be fair. I might take that. That's pretty good. Increase total AP by 5 is really nice. It's really nice. After another ally ends their turn, advance the ally turn by 30 units. That's pretty good. Are you kidding me? I could just do that instead of firing off my healing attack. But then again, the healing attack is nice. You do that first, and then you fire off the healing attack. Honestly, I'm going to try that out. That sounds kind of cool. It sounds very cool. Right, we're at 280 blood collected. I need to start moving down. So we're going to go to this medium one. Kill target NPCs. So hopefully there's only 4 of them and we can find them relatively quickly and get rid of them before things get too hairy. There is only 4. So the 4 are you, and you. But there are a lot of cocoons and a lot of things that like to blow up on the map. Thankfully, the Seraphim is weak. That Seraphim's also weak. You are only 60 health. That's not too much for us. And that Potentate's also only 60 health. Not too bad. We need to act quickly, though. Syra's a little bit far away, but not too far. What was the new thing that you got? Ah, enemies get close and they get screwed over. So I can move 2 more spaces. I can move up to 8 spaces, so we can move up to here. And still do this without going into burst. And that's just enough to reach up here and hit those 2. Pop that cocoon. Stop that cocoon from releasing an Ishim. And blow up this pustula. Kale, in the meantime, is actually just going to come up and... What's your thing again? The crystallize button? You're going to come up here and activate crystallize on yourself. I know I don't really need it, assuming that Leora's going to activate the big master buff again, which is really good. I can only move 2 spaces, though. We've moved to... Wait, I can move to there. Is that in range? Barely. Okay, we're okay. We're all good. Just don't move from here until that goes off, which... It's the next thing to go off anyway after this attack. Fire. AoE goes off. That guy got hurt. Good. Buff everyone. That guy's buffing his teammate. We don't care. This guy's running in to do... a delay on Kale by 25 turn units. That sucks. This guy's coming in for an attack, but I like... All 3 of them are in range now. This is good. He's hurting. I could drop an AoE on this guy, hit him, and blow this thing up at the same time and kill him straight away. How close do I have to be? Much closer. Let's go to here, maybe. Closer. That's good enough. Do that there. And... Wait, he's moving! But my buff, he does no damage. You suck. Fine, we'll just take it as me blowing up the cocoons in the back. What do we want to do here? We could move 1, 2, 3. We could do that. Move over here. So we can activate our reaction. How much do I have left after that? 54. Shit, that's 1 too many steps. That's annoying. Activate this anyway. So once Kale takes her turn and finishes it, which... Where's Kale? Right there, good. Once Kale finishes her turn, she'll go 30 faster because of this. I would do this, but I'm not gonna just yet. I don't want to waste... I want to, like, mess up Leona's stuff just yet. Alright, Kale. You can hit this thing with a big fat bleed. And I would say push it, but I might just hit with a bleed again. Just kill it. She does a lot of damage when she's buffed up. We have to stay relatively in range, so I'm just going to make little baby steps. We can afford to go here. Wait. Yes, we can afford to go here. Squeeze in as much AP as possible. This guy's going to come out. Good. They're putting themselves in harm's way. When does that... Wouldn't that have activated at the end of... After another ally ends their turn, advance their turn by 30 units. Did she advance by 30 units? I didn't see it trigger. Oh, well, Syra's getting to go now anyway, so we can just kill this guy. Or I get around the corner and I blast these 2 with big AoE, but he's almost dead, and I may as well do it. 39 damage won't... Well, no, it's enough to kill him. Just do this. Wait, when does he go? 25? When does this go? 20 units. We can hit him before he gets to do a turn. Hopefully. There's the burst. He just set off a chain reaction. Well done. GG. You're stupid. I don't know if her reaction thing actually took effect. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Let's just move up here and do what we can. Do this. I would still do this, but I don't know. Is it worth it? Whose turn is next? You're dead. The egg. That little thing gets his turn stolen. And then you get slowed. You know what? This might actually be worth doing now. If this goes according to plan, we'll stop the little guy from taking a turn, and then he won't get to do anything if he gets slowed by her. He'll get booped back on the timeline, and we'll get to kill him before anyone else hatches. He just moved. I thought he would stay there. And someone hatched. But he's still within range. He's still within range. It's all good. It's all good. So... you're in danger. You're just in danger, dude. Yeah, you're just in danger now. And that means you're in danger. Little Seraphim. How much is left after that? 28 left? Perfect. Cut him. You know what? Get out of here. And that's it. Killing 4 dudes on the map feels a lot easier than killing one of the like, menaces, whatever they were called. Because the menace can take a bit of time, because normally you're probably going to have to fight multiple enemies just to get to the thing, because it has a lot of health. Killing 4 dudes quickly, not that big of an issue. More health on... more damage reduction? Just make her a tank. Just make her unkillable. Greatly increase my crit chance by 50 on Syra, the lady who does big AoE. That's kind of good. And then there's crit damage down here, but crit chance is obviously a higher rarity. Pain surge. After an enemy at range is damaged by another ally, deal damage to it. Oh, it's the... she's got the gunslinger reaction stuff from Othercide. The shooty Rudy Tooty McBooty girl in Othercide had one similar to this, where she like sets it up, and then when an ally does something, she joins in and helps shoot. And if you had like a lot of multiple attacks in one turn, she just went off. However, 50 crit is huge. End of turn offset reduced. Shoulder charge rare. More AP. Give me a... I've got one more reroll left. Let's do this. Increase the ranged skill range by 1 tile. More health. Does that... hang on. What have you got that counts? Melee AoE. Borrowed time. It would be 1 more square for this mostly. I don't know if that's necessary. Give me extra health. Make her a bit more beefy. I'm okay with that. Now, we are in range to do the boss location, and in the... I would say normally to use up more cycle to get more buffs and power-ups and skills that you might need, and also to farm more of the resources down here. But in the vein of time, we're going to bum rush this and go straight in. This might backfire. If it does backfire, we should have some more cycle points left to use. This is not easy, though. These boss fight chambers are a little bit scary. Look at this. Oh my god. I still only have to kill 4 dudes, though. But they're a lot more spread out now. There's one there. There's one there. There's one all the way back there. And there's one there. And there are about, like, 200 eggs. There's so many eggs. There's so many eggs. Wow, there are so many eggs. I need 22... I don't know what to do, man. I can move, like... I can move to here. Yeah, that's the best I can do. And then I can drop this here and hopefully... I don't know. Piss them off. Kale, do me a favor. Move up to here. End turn. Then Leora. Don't overspend if you can. She's going to overspend. Don't do it. Just save the buff until next turn. In the meantime, do temporal on them so that their turns come back faster. I do need to get that buff going, but I'm not going to burst her again. They're all coming. Reaper shot. That's a long distance to charge that. There it goes. Kale gets to go faster. Syra gets to go faster. Both of them get to go first. one of our targets are there. Two of our targets are next to each other. One's all the way back there. If we can quickly get in and kill them, that'd be great. And this guy's almost dead, so he's not really a problem right now. What's our effective range on our... It's not good. Move to here. That hits both. And it blows up some eggs on the side. That's good. Go there. Fire. Kale. I would love to say just sprint full tilt down main and start beating dudes up, but honestly, you might be better as a barrier, especially if I fortify you so that melee dudes have to go through you to get through this little choke right here. Thank you for discouraging Kale. Wait, they're all come close. They're all back in range. This is good. Wow, they've actually made this really easy for me. The last time I did this, it was a nightmare. There's a lot of bad stuff happening though. Soul drains are bad. No damage done. She's too tanky for you. I can move 8 spaces at best. I can move to here. And then I'm gonna do the buff. I want the buff to go off. We need this buff for more damage and more turn. Cool. Alright, one of them's dead. One of the pains in my ass are dead. If I fire this... Like... that's gonna hit Kale. Does Kale get to move before that goes off? No, she doesn't. She's gonna get hit by... I don't want to get hit by that. But that hits everything, dude. Fire it there. We can leave this little guy here alive. Kale can kill him for me. Yeah, do that. I would say also put in the storm form, just so if an enemy gets within an adjacent tile, but he's not going to. We're kind of blocking him off pretty well. We've got two things, like, if they attack in melee, they get stopped. If they try and come in, they get... We've got a lot of stopping power on Syra, but we don't even need it. Maybe the haste was enough? Stop discouraging Kale. At least it's all going on Kale. They're bumping my turns back. They're stopping me from getting moves. These little guys suck. She's gone back to 70! Dude, wait, you're moving into range? You're in my range. Fire. Hell yeah. Chain reaction, some explosions, never hurt anyone. Alright, only 2 of these little dicks left to go. One down there and one right next to me. God, they've been knocked back so far. Let's put you here. Fire this. And let's see, these 3 are gonna go... Is it exactly you 3? You, and you. I can do a borrowed time maybe and stop one of them from moving. Who goes next? You go next. I can borrow time and stop him from moving. He doesn't get a turn now. So if I end, it should skip him. You're still set up to do that, right? Good. Okay, good. So what I want Syra to do now is to come here. Fire. If they come close... Well, actually, no. Fire here. I have a suspicion that this little guy over here might move in further. If I fire it about here, there's a big blast radius that they might walk in. He might walk into. This guy gets hit. This guy might walk in. That's my hope. Go for it. His turn did get skipped by a borrowed time. Good. He came into the blast radius. You idiot. He is delaying me. He walked away from it, though. Man, you can't stop all of us. You can't stop all of us. You cannot stop what's going to happen to you. You think you can, but you can't. You will die. Yeah. Who do you think you are? You're all little useless. Right, every time Soul Drain. So look at Soul Drain and how annoying this thing is. After a Stilla casts a skill, remove 15 AP and prepare Soul Drain again. So every time we do it, we just keep losing AP. He is draining my stuff. You think I care, though? Think I care? You think I care? I'm Kale. I don't care. Oh, you're alive? Oh, you're lucky that you're soul draining me. You're bleeding, though. You might die. I hope you die. One of you will get another turn. Maybe. No. Maybe you both won't. Look at all the turrets coming in. All the little Irams. Lightning. 68 crit. Die. And it's done. We killed the boss room. But we still get to make decisions on what goes where. For KO damage. For Syra, crit damage, crit chance. Give me more crit chance. Although crit damage, she has pretty high crit chance. The damage might be kind of nice. AP, health, or timeline intensity. Massively increase the magnitude of timeline displacement effects you apply. So a 30% boost to slowing enemies down. It's kind of cool. I'll take that. But the gist of it is, even though we've beaten the boss, we're getting a lot of blood and a lot of resources, and we still have 2 cycles worth of travel to go, because we can go anywhere, and it's only going to cost us 50. So the boss is dead, but we could keep moving. I'm imagining if you're able to increase this later on in the game, you want to rush around and do multiple boss fight locations. Possibly. I don't know whether or not the plan is to have actual big, you know, singular boss enemies like they had in Othercide. It seems like they're basically just using what they've got right now to fill space. Like, bosses will be here in the future, like putting up a sign coming soon, maybe. Or if you need to do a couple of these locations before, like, the event boss. Either way, whether you use up all of your cycle juice or not, you can always manually decide to do it, or wait until you run out, either because you died a lot or because you just moved all your spaces. Maximize your spaces, be done with it. Say I want to end my cycle, and at the end of it, it shows you how many of the resources you gathered. Now remember, you get more of these, the higher difficulty the rooms that you cleared, or you can just choose certain rooms that give you certain ones. Start a new cycle. And here we have the tree. We're going to buff the tree, make ourselves stronger, so that when we go back in and do more runs, we're more powerful, so we can do the higher difficulties, therefore getting more resources, therefore filling in the tree quicker. It would pay off if you're confident enough to do higher difficulty rooms, at least one, like, medium to hard room, maybe per run. Hopefully you don't die, you know, more than once or twice that way. Otherwise it's a waste of cycle juice, I'm imagining. It comes down to balancing if you want to do, like, all easy rooms like me, or just do one medium and a whole bunch of other ones. Maybe pick hard difficulty on the ones that only want you to kill 4 enemies, because those rooms aren't too bad. Whereas the ones where you need to kill the singular turret, the singular base, that one's a bit rougher. But we have all of our perks here. Damage modification, 5% more damage, a new skill that's empowered by Mark, more health, more AP, and it keeps going, so a new skill, Blood Wave. We get a damage reduction baked in, movement AP cost is decreased, crit chance goes up, more skills, multi-layered attacks that leaves a charged remnant, backstab damage, because flanking an enemy and hitting them from the back does do more damage. Like, positioning matters in this game, even though I'm not showing you a lot of that, but you do want to do that. Othercide was the same. Access to more skills, AP consumption, new rupture skill, more health. There's abilities and passive stats mixed in all over here. Parent not unlocked. Parent not unlocked. Now, looking at what we've got here, I actually don't really have enough resources to get anything except a health boost, because we didn't get very many of these funny looking inside eyeball things over here. So you know what? We'll unlock that. And now we've used up our stuff. I could go for damage reduction, which honestly, damage reduction is pretty sick. Crimson Pact. And you just do this, and because they're going to get more expensive, I mean, look at these up the top here, they're very expensive. You'll end up probably naturally filling them in, you know, row by row as you go, unless you really want to hard focus particular things, and then you want to go after certain ones. But that's the gist of it. And then when you're done, you know, filling in your tree, you go over to create. And here's where you get to do the fun. The fun is what we used to do in Othercide. We get to basically choose what characters are going to be. So you could make your character here the Sanguis, you could make it a Temp Star, you could make it a Veritor, you could have like 3 of these and just go in with 3 of the Shooty Tooty ladies, or go in with 3 of the utility ladies, or you could have 1 raging demon melee lady and then 2 supports to go in behind and just keep boosting her turn meter and healing her. You know, you can do whatever you want with it. Othercide was the same. You had about, I think, 5 or 6. I think it's 5 or 6 different classes by the end of the game. And not only that, but you get to change their names. Beelz. We're going to call this one Beelz 2. And we're going to call this one Grande. Okay, it's not that far. Beelz 3, I guess, because I'm very imaginative with my names. You can name all of your different peoples, go out, customize them, you know, whichever class you want to have, and then once you're done, you hit start and you get into a fresh run, and you go and do it again, and you go and you beat your bosses. You pick and choose your rooms based on what resources you want. So, you know, we get to see down here, oh, we get a lot of these from that room. We get a lot of these, which means if I up the difficulties, we're going to get more. And I'm imagining you need to beat a difficulty to unlock the next tier, which means getting a lot more rewards, filling in the tree faster, blitzing more bosses. The more powerful you are, the less you need to rely on beating a room and getting a buff, I imagine, so you can just rush bosses and beat them. For the much bigger rewards that you get, the cycle continues. I'm very happy to see that the team at Lightbulb Crew are making more Othercide style games. I recommend both. I recommend keeping an eye on Exanguist if you like what you see, and if you do like what you see, go check out Othercide. It's a fantastic game and you will really enjoy it if you like what you see here. We're only getting a taste in this playtest right now. There will be more. There was a lot of stuff that you could do in the former game, so this one's going to be the same. It's just that it's a playtest, and there's, you know, they're showing a little bit at a time. They're not showing us everything that we can do. But with all of that said and done, I've got to get out of here. I hope you guys have enjoyed this early look at Exanguis, and I will see you all again next time. Have a good one.